Mesdames, Messieurs, bonjour. Ici Michel Lacroix en compagnie de Jean-Sébastien Légaré. Bienvenue à l'émission au 19e, déjà une 8e année en votre compagnie. Et comme le veut la tradition, c'est tourné du côté d'Orlando au Salon du Golf pour amorcer cette saison. On a visité les principaux manufacturiers. Jean-Sébastien, qu'est-ce qu'on retrouve notamment chez TaylorMade et Callaway?
Oui, on a deux nouvelles familles, M5 et M6 du côté de TaylorMade et Epic Flash du côté de Callaway. Encore une fois, les ingénieurs se sont surpassés avec des technologies avant-gardistes.
La plupart de nos collaborateurs sont de retour, notamment du côté de l'enseignement. Jean-Sébastien, on s'attarde sur quoi cette semaine?
Sur la colonne vertébrale, c'est le point central de notre corps et qui peut nous apporter de très bons points repères pour notre élan.
Tout ça et plus encore cette semaine à l'émission au 19e, là où depuis déjà 8 ans, vous entendez à coup sûr les meilleures histoires de golf.
Au 19e, une présentation de RBC au service de votre réussite. En collaboration avec Mulligan Centre du Golf pour un nouvel élan.
La foire du golf mondial, ça commence ici même, en Orange County National, sur l'un des terrains d'exercice les plus larges au monde. 42 acres, ils sont plus de 100 compagnies à dévoiler leurs plus récents produits. Ils étaient près de 40 000 professionnels de l'industrie provenant de 89 pays différents à prendre part à cette 66e édition de la foire mondiale du golf. La journée démo, eh bien, c'est comme une vieille tradition. Le temps d'une toute petite journée au grand air, on met à l'essai les bâtons, les accessoires et les éducatifs qui feront les manchettes en 2019. Par la suite, on se dirige à l'intérieur pour les 72 prochaines heures au centre de convention Orange County. Étalé sur environ 16 km d'allées, plus de 1000 exposants, dont 200 nouvelles compagnies cette année, ont permis à tout cet auditoire d'assister aux nombreux lancements de produits, d'acheter et d'apprendre sur cette industrie qui est en constante évolution. Finalement, si la portion bâton de golf n'est pas votre champ d'expertise, il est tout de même possible d'avoir un horaire surchargé avec les tendances mode, la présence d'enseignants de renom, de plusieurs vedettes professionnelles dont la Canadienne Brooke Anderson. On a pu aussi recenser des séminaires sur les nouvelles règles, l'enseignement aux jeunes, l'entraînement physique spécifique au golf, l'apport technologique dans la gestion d'un club et j'en passe. C'est bien simple. Si vous êtes un artisan de l'industrie et que vous désirez être à jour dans vos connaissances, on se voit assurément l'an prochain à Orlando à la fin janvier. Jean-Sébastien Légaré pour au 19e.
Mulligan Centre du Golf vous présente le spécial équipement. Mulligan Centre du Golf pour un nouvel élan.
Well, I think the first and foremost, we wanted to have great speed in these new drivers. That was the goal. Like, how do we get more speed? And obviously, there's lots of ways to get more speed, but the way that we thought we could do it more consistently was to do this process of bringing it over the limit and then measuring it and then tuning it back the exact right amount. Because when you're trying to chase up the limit the other way, it's difficult to know when you've gone too far. Then you've gone too far and you can't go back. So it's really interesting, the mindset of difference of the old way is more of like make the face thinner and try to get closer going up instead of kind of coming down to the limit. And that was really, I think, a breakthrough that we had. And then it was just a question of can we execute that in a product? I mean, this is a visible technology really because you see these two new holes in the face essentially and these two orange pins that cover up those holes. And this is where we're tuning the clubs. This is where the resin goes in on every single driver. Every single driver is measured to make sure, see where the CT is, see where the speed is, how far we need to tune it back, and then we get it back to a speed that's just inside the legal limit. And we do that in every single club, and that's how you see that it's been done. We definitely want to make sure that we maintain the ability for a golfer to really dial in his launch conditions perfectly, and so the first thing we do is obviously we equip it with the loft sleeve. The loft sleeve gets you 2 degrees plus or minus on loft. So this 10.5 degree driver here can go up all the way from 8.5 to 12.5, so a big range of loft. Now, the second part of adjustability is the movable weight system. And we've reinvented it completely on the M5 driver. We've had different track systems in the past. This is our most forgiving style of track system because it offers a lot of options down the back end of the club here. And so 2 10-gram weights, we can move them all the way up to the front. This is your lowest launch, lowest spin setting. We can put them more of a stock setting like this where one is forward, one's kind of back, or you could put both of the weights all the way in the back for maximum forgiveness. And once you're here, now you can also dial in some more draw and fade, depending on where you want that in your club as well. So a tremendous amount of flexibility there for players to get perfect launch conditions every time. You will definitely see the twist face call out here with the same amount of twists, same geometries you saw on M3, M4. It's worked incredibly well from everywhere from high handicappers all the way to the best players on tour are taking advantage of the twist face. So it's a technology that we're really doubling down on in 2019 as well. And that's the new story on the fairway is twist face. We definitely have spent a lot of time to analyze what the golfer's doing from a presentation of the golf club point of view, making sure that the pattern that we saw on the driver, which is that low heel impact all the way to the high toe, and how people are squaring the club face up differently but depending on the impact location, is still true in the fairway woods. So we've done a lot of research on that, studied thousands of more shots, making sure that pattern exists, and sure enough, that pattern still exists. And so what we've had to do then is engineer the twist face to work on the fairway wood by analyzing the sort of head properties, MOI, CG location, all affects the twist. And so what you're going to see in 2019 is a fairway wood that has twist face in it, but it actually has a little bit more twist face curvature than the driver has, again, because of the different mass property. The two fairway woods, on the top look similar. Again, if you look at it this way, not that much of a difference. You turn them over and you see a totally different look on the bottom. First of all, obviously the M5, the one thing you're going to notice, first of all, it says titanium on this one. The titanium head is a complete revolution in terms of construction of club heads. I don't think that there's ever been a club head that's been titanium, steel, and carbon before in the market. So very unique set of materials to create incredible launch conditions in a club that's still fully adjustable with movable weight. On the M6, we're talking about a steel fairway wood, also with twist face. A little bit of bigger volume. This is about a 160cc. This is a 185cc, so a little bit of a different size. But this one really comes with incredible ball speed across the face, a little bit taller face than the old M4 fairway wood. So again, easier for people to hit. Also, it's going to launch a little bit higher. We're going to see about 2 yards more peak trajectory with this. Really distributed that weight, that super slippery sole here for great turf interaction. So again, two great options. Both are going to deliver incredible distance. Again, tie with adjustability here, and this really steel, very forgiving, very easy to play.
Attention tout le monde, c'est notre première question quiz de la saison. L'an passé, à pareille date, la jeune Canadienne Brooke Anderson a remporté la victoire au championnat Lot et disputé du côté de Hawaï. À qui a-t-elle dédié cette victoire? Est-ce que c'est A, aux victimes des Broncos d'Humboldt, B, à elle-même, puisqu'il s'agissait de sa première victoire sur le circuit de la LPGA, ou C, elle-même également, parce qu'il s'agissait de sa date d'anniversaire de naissance? La réponse dans quelques instants. À qui donc Brooke Anderson a-t-elle dédié cette victoire du côté du championnat Lotte disputé à Hawaï? La réponse, évidemment, c'était A, les Broncos d'Humboldt. On rappelle cette tragédie qui a coûté la vie à 16 jeunes joueurs de hockey.
Yeah, so this is the first driver ever designed using artificial intelligence. So you see it with Google, you see it with Amazon Alexa, you do a search, each time you search it gets better, it understands different languages. We've applied that to the driver face for the very first time. So a typical driver face, we would do 5 to 7 prototypes or iterations before we arrived at the final face. With the new flash face technology, we were able to do 15,000 virtual prototypes. You took your laptop and you're trying to run one iteration, not 15,000, one iteration, it would take you 34 years to run one prototype. We had this supercomputer running for 1 month straight, 24/7, to keep iterating, so it's not something that humans would ever come up with on their own. We've learned stuff that we didn't think that we would, and when this face first came out, the engineers said, there's no way that this could work. And then we tested it, and we were seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 miles an hour more ball speed, and we're like, this is incredible, because it's not something that humans would have come up with. So we have parts of the face that are actually thinner than we expect, and other parts that are actually more durable than we would expect as well. So basically, we tried to take the constraints off of the computer. We said, it has to be conforming to the USGA and the RNA rules. It can't break at tour player speeds, and that's it. Give it the most ball speed from there. Instead of putting all of our constraints onto the face, we let the computer and the artificial intelligence and the machine learn and keep learning till it could come up with the best possible face. The jailbreak technology, this is really what got us to #1 in drivers. What the jailbreak does is it makes the body of the driver stiffer, which allows us to make that face even more flexible. We've also got the adjustable perimeter weight. We've brought that back. The fitters absolutely love it. Lets you hit that draw or hit that fade, gives you about 20 yards of shot shape correction. We've got the triaxial carbon crown. We've got the OptiFit hosel and very premium aftermarket shafts as well. So really the total package here. First week out, we got our first win with Xander Schauffele and put it in play. The conversion has been absolutely off the charts. And players like, I'll give you an example of Ollie Schneiderjans, one of our young guns out on tour. His typical ball speed is around 180 miles an hour with Rogue. He put this into the bag and he's already at 184 miles an hour. And you just don't see that from tour players who are already fit to the highest level, guys getting 2, 3, 4 miles an hour more ball speed. Xander Schauffele, same way. Sergio Garcia picking up 10 yards of carry. Absolutely incredible. So we have the standard model and the Sub-Zero, and within the standard, this is our higher launching, easier to hit fairway wood. We've got a 3+ and a 3 and a 5 and a 7 and a 9 and a heavenwood, so a ton of different models. There is a fairway wood for everybody in the standard lineup. And then in the Sub-Zero, this is typically for the better player, a little bit lower spin. We have the front back weighting. We've got that in a 3+, a 3, and a 5. So the shape is a little bit smaller than the standard, and you can control that ball flight, control the spin using the front back weighting. So we took our learnings from the artificial intelligence, applied it to the fairway wood, and the fairway wood is extremely thin on the low part of the face where players tend to miss. It's also very, very thin in the center of the face. Then you have this durability ring. So once again, it's a face that we've never used before in a fairway wood. It looks totally different, but it looks very different from the face of the driver as well.
Restez là parce qu'après la pause, je vous donne un conseil concernant votre colonne vertébrale et améliorer votre stabilité. À tout de suite.
Ce conseil de golf est une présentation de TaylorMade et sa nouvelle technologie Twist Face injectée.
Depuis des années, certaines idées techniques envahissent l'esprit des golfeurs. Parmi elles, il y en a qui sont partiellement, voire complètement erronées, ce qui entraîne une diminution, voire même un blocage de votre progression. Afin de vous éviter de faire fausse route, nous allons démystifier certains mythes ensemble qui nuisent à votre golf. Bien évidemment, le premier mythe que je me dois de parler est un mythe qu'on entend souvent au terrain d'exercice ou même sur un parcours de golf. C'est le fameux « garde ta tête basse, regarde la balle ». Souvent donné par des collègues, des partenaires de jeu, sans mauvaise intention, mais qui peuvent faire tellement de mal à votre élan et à votre partie de golf. Si vous gardez la tête basse et vous regardez la balle, soyez certain qu'il y aura une limitation de votre élan arrière et aussi de votre élan avant, un peu comme ceci. Le manque de rotation avant et arrière aura une conséquence directe sur la puissance de vos coups et vous remarquerez que votre position finale ne sera pas optimale. Vous risquez même de vous blesser au cou ou au bas du dos. Ce qu'on devrait entendre à la place, c'est que vos yeux regardent et suivent la balle, surtout juste après l'impact. Vos yeux devraient suivre la balle pour ainsi avoir une meilleure position finale en équilibre et aller chercher toute la puissance nécessaire sur votre coup. Comme ceci. C'est le concept, encore une fois, après un coup erratique. Vos partenaires de jeu vont vous donner le conseil de ralentir votre élan, de frapper moins fort, de frapper moins vite. Mais c'est totalement faux. Ce que l'on veut, c'est de la vitesse. La vitesse apporte la puissance et la puissance, tout le monde en a besoin au golf. Ce n'est sûrement pas un problème de vitesse. C'est sûrement un problème technique, un problème de tempo, un problème de rythme, un problème entre la transition, la montée et la descente. N'allez pas penser que je fais un élan tranquillement. Mon rythme et ma transition se fait harmonieusement, mais je génère une grande vitesse de bâton à l'impact. Pensez à ceci. Lorsqu'Arnold Palmer a commencé à jouer au golf, son père lui a dit « Frappe la balle le plus fort que tu peux, après ça, on apprendra à la frapper droite. » Parce que c'est bien plus facile d'apprendre à frapper droit qu'apprendre à frapper fort. En ce qui concerne le troisième mythe, c'est lorsqu'on entend les gens donner le conseil « Pars ton élan en ligne droite et va mener la balle au trou ». C'est totalement faux. C'est sûr que si vous partez votre élan en ligne droite et essayez d'aller mener la balle au trou, vous allez avoir soit un manque de puissance et vous magasinez une slice. Si j'envoie ma tête de bâton droite vers l'arrière, ça va produire une déconnexion de mes bras avec mon tronc. Et souvent, ça déplace le poids de mon corps trop vers l'avant de mon pied arrière au lieu du talon. Ce qu'on devrait voir plutôt, c'est ma tête de bâton qui tourne vers l'intérieur de ma tige. Et ma tige, elle, pointe vers la cible. Autant sur la montée arrière, sur mon côté arrière, que sur mon élan avant. Il ne faut surtout pas que vous essayiez de frapper votre balle en lançant votre tête de bâton droit vers la cible. Encore une fois, il y aura déconnexion de vos bras et soyez presque sûr qu'une slice s'en suivra. Ce mythe concerne votre début d'élan. Vous avez déjà sûrement entendu quelqu'un vous donner le conseil qu'à mi-chemin, à la hauteur de vos hanches, votre tête de bâton doit pointer vers le ciel, doit être droite. Mais c'est totalement faux. Beaucoup de golfeurs vont essayer du mieux qu'ils peuvent d'arriver avec une tête de bâton pointant le ciel. La conséquence, c'est que ça produit une face de club ouverte. Donc, à l'impact, votre face de bâton va pointer à droite de la cible. En fait, l'angle de votre face de bâton doit être dans le même angle que l'inclinaison de votre corps à mi-chemin, autant à la montée qu'à la descente, tout simplement en tournant votre corps. Soyez certain que si vous appliquez ces principes, vous aurez des frappes beaucoup plus droites et puissantes. Le dernier mythe concerne le transfert de poids. Je vois beaucoup de gens qui ont la mauvaise croyance que le transfert de poids, c'est d'amener son poids totalement sur le côté arrière, amener le haut de son corps vers l'arrière. Mais c'est totalement faux. Vous n'êtes pas un joueur de baseball. Un joueur de baseball, lui, attendra la balle venant du lanceur en ayant leur poids beaucoup sur la jambe arrière. Vous, si vous faites ça, vous risquez soit de taper avant la balle, frappant le sol, ou même caloter celle-ci. Ou sinon, vous allez essayer de ramener le haut de votre corps plus vite vers l'avant. Vous allez taper sur la balle, soit faire un shank, vous pouvez slicer la balle ou même hooker celle-ci. Je vais vous montrer ce qu'il faut faire. Vous devez essayer de regarder la balle en gardant votre tronc et vos hanches stables où ils feront une rotation. Les meilleurs au monde vont avoir un déplacement de la tête de moins d'1 pouce vers l'arrière. Vous obtiendrez ainsi des meilleurs contacts et des balles plus droites. On vient de voir ensemble quelques mythes qui peuvent empoisonner la croyance que vous avez face à votre élan de golf. Vérifiez si vous faites ces erreurs. Et si tel est le cas, mais travaillez à les corriger. N'oubliez pas, pratiquez bien, amusez-vous bien et bon golf!
So a couple things. What we do in comparative is the one length head is a little bit wider. So we want to drive the CG a little bit further back. So that's helpful because those clubs do lose a little bit of height when you shorten them. So especially when you get to a 5-iron. We know that there's a consistency benefit because you hit the shots more on center. So a lot of cases you pick up distance over how you would hit your 5-iron normally because you don't hit your regular 5-iron that well. But by driving the CG back, we're able to get a little bit of height back from what we did with shortening the length. The other thing we've changed with these is we actually changed the shafts a little bit. And one of our learnings really came from working with Bryson DeChambeau. And as Bryson has worked with us, when he first came to us, he said, every shaft in my set, I want it to be a 7-iron. The 7-iron shaft. He says, well, I'm the same weight, same feel. And then he also said at the same time, he says, well, I'm not really a field player, but that just made sense to me. And when we first started testing, when he was coming to Cobra and trying our new clubs, he said, well, the long irons are a little bit low and the short irons are a little bit high. And we said, well, why do you have 7-iron shafts in all your clubs? He says, that's causing part of that problem. So eventually we convinced him to switch and he went on a tear and won a bunch of tournaments with it. So he's moved away from all 7-irons into putting a 4-iron shaft in a 4-iron and a wedge shaft in a wedge. And they perform better, they feel better, because that's how we've learned how to design those clubs. You actually do different things with those clubs from a swing speed, even though they're the same length. Bryson came in and said, why do I swing them different speeds when they're the same length and the same weight? And we said, well, let's study this a little bit and let's learn about it. And one of the things we learned is we golf with our brain, through our eyes mostly, and we look at the club. And when we see a pitching wedge, we think about that shot, and that shot is an accuracy shot for the most part. When we see a 5-iron or a 4-iron, what do we think about that shot? He said, oh, I better hit it solid, because I want to hit it far and pretty close to my target, but far is more important than close to target. So you swing them differently. And it's kind of interesting, because a lot of people were wondering about how does that work. So when you swing them differently, they have different jobs. And we've learned that, over the last couple of years with him. So one of the things we did was we actually changed the shaft weights in the set. So what we've done is we've actually put the same 90-gram KBS shaft in the 7 irons and mid irons that we do in the variable set. But in the long irons, we put a KBS 80. And in the short irons, we put a KBS wedge. So it's a bunch of things. That helps your speed on the long irons and your flight. On the wedges, it gives you a little bit more control and a little stability, and it makes a better set. So we have changed the shafts a little bit in the one length for this year. So a hybrid, a similar story with the speedback technology. You see it here maybe a little bit more prominently because the rail heights are taller. So you can see where that weight is kind of raised or lowered, if you will, from a CG perspective to give that better performance. So we do offer that in 2 different flavors, variable length and one length. The one length hybrid last year was a great success for us. And one of the things that's pretty easy to understand is hybrid heads almost always hit it higher and easier than long iron heads. It's really based on the geometry, the CG's further back, the head's shallower, all those things make sense. So when you looked at one length, it made perfect sense to have a one length hybrid. We've had great success with that. A lot of people are saying, wow, I love the set of one length irons and the one length hybrid.
What we love about the AP family is we've got a golf club for every golfer. From the AP2, which is really our flagship iron, this is the gold standard of modern tour irons. More touring professionals around the globe play this iron than anything else. Why? Because it gives them the great look and feel that they want, incredible precision distance, but it's also pretty forgiving. I would feel really comfortable putting any single digit, even low double digit handicap player into an AP2. It's just an incredible performance iron. On the opposite end of the spectrum is AP1. This is the ultimate game improvement iron. It's maximum distance, maximum forgiveness, but still done in a look and feel that we're really proud of. It's still, this looks like a club that you want to put behind the ball, you've got confidence with. And then the combination of the two is really AP3. So AP3 steals kind of the look and feel of AP2 combined with the performance characteristics of AP1, that high launch, incredible distance, and forgiveness. So we love the idea that we've got 1 + 2 = 3, and this is our player's distance iron. And it's been our top seller this past year. And if you haven't had a chance to try AP3, I really encourage you to do it. It is a tremendous golf club. Yeah, what we actually see on the PGA Tour is just over 70% of our touring professionals are now playing some sort of a mixed set from an iron standpoint. Now, very rarely, and I don't think we even have where anyone would have all 3 APs in play on tour, but we see it in a lot of our fittings where we've got guys who want, they want a scoring club that they really feel comfortable with in an AP2, but as they get into long irons, they like AP3s. Conversely, the same thing as you get into long irons with AP1, the 4 and 5 iron are hollow, and they are an incredible high launching performance machine to really help guys make sure you get those breaks in your bag. We've got 2 models of hybrids, H1 and H2. H1 is really designed for that golfer who likes to sweep it a little bit. More of a, kind of swings a little bit like a fairway. Whereas H2, and it's a different shape with H2, a little flatter face, kind of see a little square toe there, much more for the guy who likes to hit down on it like he would with his irons. So we've got 2 great options for players. And what we like to say with these clubs is that these are not rescue clubs, these are scoring clubs. Because when we can really dial you in from those 200-yard plus distances, that's where you see your score improve significantly.
Mulligan Centre du Golf vous a présenté ce spécial équipement. Mulligan Centre du Golf pour un nouvel élan. On s'arrête là-dessus cette semaine. Je vous donne rendez-vous la semaine prochaine. Nous serons encore une fois du côté du Salon du Golf à Orlando. Et cette fois, nous allons nous attarder plus spécifiquement aux cocheurs au wedge et également aux balles. Cette multitude de balles qui sont dorénavant offertes au grand public. Question d'échauffement et de préparation en vue de la prochaine saison. Je vous invite également à être des nôtres pour écouter les conseils de Debbie Savamorel. Tout ça et plus encore, la semaine prochaine à l'émission au 19e, là où on entend évidemment les meilleures histoires de golf.
Au 19e vous a été présenté par RBC, au service de votre réussite. En collaboration avec Mulligan Centre du Golf, pour un nouvel élan.